Hey you, welcome back to the channel. How you been? Oh, you want another video? Well, since there's 2 episodes left, I guess we could do that. The only catch is that these last 2 episodes are very intense, so unlike last video, we're going to be going back to our normal format of 1 episode per video. So with all that out of the way, let's hop into this review of Invincible's Season 3, Episode 7, titled, What Have I Done? Make sure you have those snacks ready, that bell on for future content, and let's dive right in. Opening on Angstrom's squished Clementine head from Mark bashing his face against it during their battle from Season 2, Episode 8. Somehow still alive despite looking like Hamburger Helper, creates a portal to get back to the technicians. If it's not clear, he's telling them to fix him. The only reason I know is from the captions. I don't even understand how they can understand what he's saying. Let's play a game. I'm gonna hold my head back, say a short phrase, and I want you guys to guess what it is in the comments. Starting day 1 of the Invincible War, those were completely off of what I was saying, but we're just gonna ignore it. Starting day 1 of the Invincible War, we see about like 10 portals open up with different Invincible variants flying out of them. My favorite from the shot has to be the Spider-Man looking Invincible, with my least favorite being the Ballsack looking Invincible. Terrible design. Learning that Angstrom is behind the attack as if like the green portals weren't a dead giveaway, we get hit with the shortest intro to title card sequence of the entire season so far.
Make them fear! Invincible! Make them hate!
I don't know if it's from doing the videos and having to watch the episodes over and over again, but this is definitely my least favorite intro to title card sequence of the season so far. Kinda makes me miss the longer sequences. Promising the rest of the Invincibles that
everything you want will be yours!
As long as they make people fear.
Invincible!
But after the slow zoom on these Jinzo looking mofos, I'm gonna take a guess that no, it won't be yours. Joining even Mark for the first time, Mark is sad about everything that went down with Powerplex. Usually I would hate on Mark for being a sad boy, but when he puts it like this...
That Powerplex guy will finally get the help he needs in prison.
The help he needs because the fight with my dad killed his sister and niece, or the help he needs because my fight with him killed his wife and son?
It's hard not to feel sympathetic for him this time around. Except for the Powerplex thing. That was completely Powerplex's fault. Eve decides to try to cancel the dinner with her parents, putting the blame on Mark being sad, but we know that's not the case from when we saw Eve trying to move back in with her parents. However, Mark's not taking the, I don't think you understand how terrible they are excuse.
I don't know if you understand fully how terrible they are.
I don't understand terrible parents.
Just as Invincible Inc. is getting a business call.
What?
Flashing to the Invincible variants tearing up major cities across the globe.
What chance do you have against...
I don't know why, but that shit made me laugh my ass off. And of course, everybody's favorite, Freddie Mercury. Back in San Fran, Rex is helping Ray move all of her new stuff into her apartment.
You sure this place is safe?
Unfortunately, in today's economy, she's not wrong.
Cheap edges out safe.
But there's a huge bang across the city.
Whoa, what the hell was that?
Ready for action, Rex suits up. Ray does too, but then Rex tells her to stay at home. If things get too bad,
I'll call.
End 2.
Lay one on me, mama.
Our reality Mark shows up to the penitentiary to see all the damage that Mohawk Mark
Get out of here!
has done, just as Mohawk Mark realizes.
You're the me from this world!
But of course, instead of fighting, Mark tries to take the talking route with no luck.
I heard you the first time, dipshit!
But then finally decides to take an alternate route. I can't even begin to imagine how badly that must hurt. Part of me wants to like try and see, but then the big brain part of me knows that's a terrible idea. Unfortunately, just as Mark notices one of Angstrom's spy cameras, Earth's regular heroes come up to jump Mark.
Hit door! It's me! Stop!
Powerplex decides to join the party, but not for long.
There are 2 of you?
Debbie's watching the news, running out of the door to try to stop Oliver from him trying to go help all the rest of the heroes.
You and Mark are always telling me to care about people. That's what I'm trying to do.
Not now!
Mom, please. They need me.
deciding to let him go, hugging him, stating that she has somewhere safe that she can go. Mohawk Mark gets defeated by Mark, Bolt, and the others.
Dispatch already has a call into the GDA.
Before flashing over to the GDA to see Robo, Donald, Cecil, and the Reanimen fighting one of the Marks.
And there are how many of these nightmares out there?
At least 18.
However, there is some good taste at the end of this shit sandwich.
This Invincible definitely wasn't as strong as ours.
Day 2 begins showing us some new heroes such as Britt, voiced by Jonathan Banks, who you may recognize as Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad. I have to say though, this dialogue makes no sense.
And let us know if you die so we can send someone else.
How are they supposed to let you know if they die if they're already dead? Hey boss, yeah, it's me. A half alien, half human just ripped me in half, so yeah, if you can send backup in a casket please, that would be great. Oliver is on the other side of the town helping do small tasks like picking up rubble, helping people get to safety, just as he sees
Invincible!
flying by.
Oh, and who do we have here?
Well, shit. This next part I don't really understand. Maybe that's because I don't read the graphic novels, or he popped up in earlier episodes and I just forgot. But one of the variants gets smashed into the ground with like this Egyptian tomb or something, to where even the Immortal is like,
Hell?
you got Business Baby doing swirls and twirls around this monster fighting in one of them, which I have seen some speculation online. Some say that Business Baby is dead, while others are saying that he's still alive, like he jumped out of the way before the monster squished him. Breaking our necks to flashback to Eve and Mark taking on two variants at once. Mark's begging Eve to leave, but we all know Eve and her stubbornness, causing more harm than good. But lucky for her, Cecil was watching.
Mark, bring her in, quick!
I fucking love Donald. This man doesn't give two shits about the variants or death.
Sir, with this body, I can do more out there than in here.
You're just gonna get yourself killed, Donald.
That's what I do, sir.
Hitting the Guardians of the Globe for the first time this episode, Darkwing and the Immortal are taking on one of the variants. I have to say though, poor Darkwing, how many times are we gonna have to watch this man get his face smashed into the ground? This Invincible is such a dick though.
Your stretchy friend wasn't even there. He's awesome. What did he say when I ripped him in half? Oh no, I'm going to not be alive.
Just before Darkwing snatches him up into the Shadowverse, racing across the states to find Paul looking out of the blinds like a crackhead.
You need to stay away from the windows, Paul.
I don't know how Debbie deals with Paul. I think she regrets telling him.
I like your hair.
Finally snapping at him as to why she can't leave.
I'm worried about my boys.
So am I.
No, you're not. You literally just tried to get her to leave the house and turn off the TV, without a second thought about the boys, let alone even mentioning anything about them. Robo Rick saves his beloved William's life.
I sure did.
At Team Bays, Rudy is trying to bluff this Invincible variant, but he is way too smart for those games.
Yeah, but I also know you well enough that I can hear a little bit of fear in your voice, Robo Buddy.
Being saved by none other than Rex, waking up from his near-death coma, demands Bulletproof take Rudy and Monster Girl out of here and go as far away as he possibly can, before hitting us with a surprisingly emotional and powerful scene and quote.
Del Rey! I'm sorry I didn't finish helping her move.
Oh, God.
When I tell you all, the tears that streamed down my face when first watching this episode and even watching the episode for the review is real. This is probably one of the most emotional, if not the most emotional scene of this entire series. Both of these people who never had a place to call home have found home in one another, and it was just taken away so fast. On a brighter note, our boy Donald survived.
Seems that way. Some of me, at least.
We're about midway through the episode now as Cecil visits the hospital to try to talk some sense into Mark, who's sitting at Eve's bedside instead of fighting all of the other Invincibles.
She needs me.
The world needs you.
I said no!
You're gonna have to explain this to Eve when she wakes up, and she's not going to like it.
I know I'm a Cecil hater, but he's not wrong. This is a very selfish act from Mark. The entire world is essentially resting on your shoulders while your brother, mother, and friends are out there trying to survive this craziness, and you're just like, nah, I'm gonna sit here. However, Powerplex did end up killing one, so there's that to look forward to if there's another showdown. Day 3 is here with what seems to be about only 7 variants left as Angstrom tells them to meet at the Grayson's house.
I hate coming back to this place.
I personally despise Angstrom for this alone.
Sorry. I prefer to make an entrance.
He's such a diva. Even the variants are fed up with his bullshit.
Yeah, we're awesome. What's next?
Having an argument with the variants since they're demanding their promised payouts.
Come on! The deal was, we help you, and then you help us take over a bunch of other dimensions.
But Angstrom's not playing that shit.
I was sure they'd turn on me much later.
I despise Mohawk Mark, but he's basically how I criticize movies.
Angstrom! He can't hear you, idiot.
If Lady Maj and I are watching something, I'm always calling out stuff that's not directly mentioned. Cecil bursting into the hospital room lets Mark know that they found Angstrom.
You still want to sit this one out?
Even teleporting Mark to Angstrom's exact location.
I knew it was you!
This fight is pretty intense and even shows how both parties are great at learning from their mistakes. I do have a problem with the statement of that's why I brought these instead of using them down the line. Like, there's 50,000 of these little bastards flying out of a portal. Why don't you just put a portal right behind them? Use it from the beginning. He's such an arrogant motherfucker. There's been plenty of times that Angstrom could have captured and killed Mark, but instead he has to make these dramatic long speeches like he's the big man on campus. Finally capturing Angstrom by his ballsack head, Oliver shows up to give Mark a little extra motivation.
Look at what he did! Kill him so he can never do this again! What are you waiting for?
But of course Mark takes his sweet time letting Angstrom plan a getaway, losing an arm in the process. Luckily for Mark, however, the technicians are not pleased with Angstrom's work.
You do not get a second chance. You work for us now.
Seeing the destruction around the world, with the death toll being in the hundreds of thousands, potentially tripling within the next coming days. Mark sits at Eve's bedside again to beat up on himself some more just as Cecil comes in to give him some cozy words of comfort.
I should have killed him.
You probably should have.
Jesus, Cecil.
You can't blame yourself for being a good person, Mark.
Alright, those are the cozy words of comfort we were looking for. Knowing Eve's parents are on her way, Mark decides to skedaddle, but not before letting Cecil know.
We're still not working together.
But Mark ends up getting attacked by Powerplex as soon as he shows up to start helping with the cleanup crew.
How dare you show your face here!
I mean, he's right, but he isn't.
Every dead body you find is a person he killed.
Just as Mark states to the sleepy Eve.
The Powerplex is right. This is all my fault.
Eve's parents show up as Mark is crying through his quarter-life crisis, and all Eve's dad has to say is,
She's our daughter, and we'd like some privacy with her.
like, damn, dude. This guy's sitting here bawling his eyes out, tears streaming down his face, and that's what you come in with? At least Betsy has more manners.
You're Mark, right?
Going on this huge monologue about how hard it is being a superhero's parent seems like it would be a hard thing to do. If you already have kids, you have to worry about them being put in danger all of the time. As a superhero's parent, you have to worry extra hard because your kid is going straight into the danger. Immortal being revived for like the 10th time back at GDA headquarters, deciding to quit the Guardians for his final time.
I'm done. I've given this world enough.
Deciding to sit down and start a family with Kate, so now Cecil wants Mark to be the head of the Guardians since...
You stood up to me, Mark. That means something.
However, Mark is still firm on his stance.
If you're going for the hard sell, I'm not in the mood.
Being walked out by Cecil, spitting straight bars to Mark in order to give him some hope.
We're still on the same side. We're still trying to save lives, and we're still the good guys.
Mark's helping clean the rubble and dead bodies from the streets.
Got another one over here.
Closing off episode 7 with the whitewashed Thanos hovering over Mark, leading to one of the most hyped moments of this series so far. That's going to do it for this video about Season 3, Episode 7 of Amazon Prime's award-winning series Invincible. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that like button. Don't forget to comment any future shows or movies you'd like to see be reviewed in the future. Make sure to subscribe with the bell on so you never miss an upload. Until next time, thank you for watching, I love you all, and I'll see you next time. But here's Mark.
I screwed up. I don't want you getting hurt because I made a mistake.
Yeah, you did. Maybe if you warned the prison or even took Titans a warning, you'd be there at